The old manor stood before them, a menacing silhouette in the dying light. Its stone walls were crumbling, devoured by ivy and enveloped in an unnatural silence. A rusty gate creaked open, a mournful groan echoing in the twilight. Four friends, bound by years of shared history, stood on the threshold.
Are you guys sure about this? This place gives me the creeps.
Don't be a scaredy cat, Peter. It's just an old house.
Leah, ever the adventurer, laughed, her voice echoing in the silence. She pushed open the creaky front door, inviting the others to follow her inside. The air inside was heavy, thick with dust and the weight of forgotten memories. A cold wind whistled through the broken windows, sending chills down their spines. Despite their apprehension, a shared sense of morbid curiosity drew them deeper into the manor's dark embrace. The hallway stretched before them, shrouded in darkness. Moonlight filtered through the dirty windows, illuminating a series of ornate mirrors that lined the walls. Each mirror was a portal to a bygone era, reflecting fragments of images from the past.
Look at this place. It's like a time capsule.
She reached out, her fingers tracing the dusty frame of a particularly large mirror. Thomas, drawn by an invisible force, approached a mirror at the end of the hallway. Its surface was cloudy, obscuring his reflection in a hazy mist. As he stared into the depths of the mirror, he felt a growing unease, a tingling sensation at the back of his neck.
Thomas, are you okay?
He didn't answer. His gaze remained fixed on the mirror, his breath caught in his throat. The reflection staring back at him was not his own. It was a stranger, his face twisted in an expression of pure terror. Suddenly, the mirror's surface cleared and the horrifying face vanished. Thomas stumbled backward, his heart pounding in his chest. He tried to speak, to tell his friends what he had seen, but the words remained stuck in his throat. The air grew thick with a palpable tension. Each of the friends, drawn by some unknown force, found themselves standing before a mirror. They stared into the reflective surfaces, their reflections warped, transformed into grotesque mockeries of their former selves.
Oh my God.
Leah gasped, her hand flying to her mouth. The face staring back at her was not her own, but that of her younger sister, her eyes filled with accusation and betrayal. She recoiled from the image, the memory of a long-forgotten argument, a careless word that had cut deep, flooding back to her.
This is impossible.
Peter saw himself, but older, his face etched with bitterness and regret. The weight of his unfulfilled dreams, the sacrifices he had made in the name of pragmatism, pressed down on him. He looked away, unable to bear the weight of his own disappointment.
No, this can't be.
Sophie's breath hitched in her throat. The face staring back at her was that of a former friend, her eyes filled with hurt and anger. The echo of their argument, a misunderstanding that had spiraled out of control, rang in her ears. Guilt, long suppressed, rose within her. The manor seemed to close in on them, the air heavy with the weight of their unexpressed regrets. The mirrors, once shining portals to the past, now reflected the darkness that resided within each of them.
What's happening? These mirrors, they're showing us things we don't want to see.
They're showing us our truths, our mistakes, our regrets, the things we try so hard to hide from ourselves.
But why? Why are we being forced to face these things?
Maybe because we can't move forward until we learn to accept them.
He looked at them each in turn, his gaze filled with a newfound understanding.